Chosen one, hear this loud and clear. This is your divine payback season. Every sacrifice you made, every dollar you had to give up in hardship, every cent that slipped through your fingers during your lowest moments, it was never wasted. It was never forgotten. It was never lost in the dark. It was a deposit, a spiritual transaction that didn't vanish. It was recorded in the heavens, documented in the divine books, sealed for a return with interest. And now, yes, right now, it's coming back. Not in pieces, not in fractions, but multiplied, overflowing, and pressed down with abundance. You cried over losses. You wept in silence when your wallet echoed emptiness. You wondered how you'd make it through another storm. But you did. And now, the universe is answering that resilience. The days of giving in pain are about to be overshadowed by days of receiving in glory. Chosen one, if this message has found you, it's not by accident. It's a divine alignment. Watch this video until the end, because what you're about to receive is more than words. It's an energetic shift. And if you're ready to claim your return, type your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments. This is your moment. This is your declaration. You are participating in a universal current of manifestation, where wishes come true and energy responds to your inner calling. The more you engage, the more power you add to this frequency. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's get this straight. You were never meant to stay in lack. The pain you experienced around money wasn't meant to define you. It was meant to refine you, to show you the depth of your spirit, to stretch your faith muscle. You gave even when you didn't have much to give. You helped others when your own pockets were dry. You put your needs last and still found the courage to move forward. That energy is sacred. That generosity, especially when it was birthed out of pain, is about to be honored in ways you never imagined. You see, money doesn't just move in the physical world. It moves through intention, through sacrifice, through spiritual law. And when you gave in brokenness, you sowed in higher frequencies. The universe has not forgotten that seed. Those nights you stayed awake, wondering how the bills would be paid, those meals you skipped, those moments you had to choose between gas or groceries, those weren't random. They were tests of resilience, moments of molding. While others saw failure, heaven saw fortitude. And now, because you held on, because you didn't fold when everything around you told you to give up, you are about to walk into a season where every dollar you ever spent in pain is returning not just double, but multiplied exponentially. The debts you once had will be replaced with deposits. The loans you once begged for will be replaced with overflow you won't know where to place. Your pain was not a loss. It was a loan to the divine. And now, the divine is paying you back, with divine interest. Let them laugh. Let them whisper about how you struggled. Let them point at the past version of you who barely made it, who had to ask for help, who felt ashamed of needing support. Because that version of you was never weak. That version was being built in silence. Now, you're about to silence every critic, not with arguments, but with abundance. You're about to show the world what it looks like when divine justice manifests through finances. This is your financial retribution. This is your spiritual reimbursement. This is what happens when a chosen one refuses to let the pain define their worth. You are walking into your compensation, and this time, you won't be the one handing out hope. You'll be the one delivering miracles. Think about this. Every time you gave to someone else, when you barely had enough for yourself, that wasn't just kindness. That was prophecy. You prophesied your own return. You set into motion a ripple effect. And now the wave of that ripple is circling back to you, stronger, wider, deeper. You didn't give to get. You gave because your heart couldn't ignore the needs around you. You gave because your soul is royal, even when your bank account wasn't. And now, royalty is about to match your reality. This isn't about luck. It's about legacy. What you're about to receive is going to erase the financial trauma of the past. It will rewrite your money story. And your story won't end in scarcity. It will expand in supernatural supply. With God's blessings, you are invited to bless this message by giving a divine gift of $20 or more through the Super Thanks button on YouTube. Together, let's spread faith, hope, and love, bringing light not just into your own life, but also to those who need it most. Your generosity becomes a seed of inspiration and healing for countless souls. Don't ignore the signs, the sudden financial opportunities, the unexpected reimbursements, the gifts that seem random but feel right, the overdue checks, the business ideas that light a fire inside you, the creative urges to build something that aligns with your soul's calling. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. You are being positioned to receive everything that was once withheld. The same places where you once felt ignored. Those are the very arenas where you will now be honored. The tables that once didn't have a seat for you, you'll now own the building. This is what happens when pain pays dividends. This is what happens when the chosen rise. This payback time isn't just about financial gain, it's about freedom. Emotional freedom, mental freedom, freedom from the chains of not enough. You're stepping into a frequency where your needs are met before you even speak them, where your thoughts of wealth magnetize resources to you, where your life becomes a beacon of what divine recovery looks like. People will ask, "How did you do it?" And your answer won't be about hustle. It'll be about alignment, about being seen, about being chosen, about a universe that doesn't let sacrifice go unnoticed. You won't have to chase money. Money will recognize your vibration and chase you. You've shifted dimensions, and this one responds to your energy, not your effort. There was a time when you gave your last, and nobody noticed. But the universe noticed. The divine realm noticed. And they began preparing something bigger than what you could have imagined. The time has come for release. Not just financial release, but relief. A deep, soul-level exhale. A freedom you haven't tasted in years. This is more than compensation. It's correction. The balance is being restored. The wealth you receive now is not just for survival, it's for expansion. You'll build with it. You'll bless with it. You'll create with it. And not from pain, but from power. You're entering a season where your wallet reflects your worth, where your balance reflects your breakthrough. Everything you lost in tears is coming back in treasures. Everything you gave in desperation is returning in destiny. Don't look at your past as a mistake. See it as an investment. One the universe has been watching grow in silence. And now, the harvest is breaking through. You won't just have enough. You'll have more than enough. You won't just catch up. You'll overtake. You won't just rise. You'll reign. Chosen one, this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of a season called Divine Payback. And it starts now. You've made it this far, not because it was easy, but because you were chosen to carry a strength few could handle. You weren't just enduring pain, you were planting in it. Every time you spent money in the midst of your storm, you were placing seeds into a soil called struggle. But now, that same soil is blooming with supernatural supply. Your sacrifices were not wasted, they were water to a divine harvest. What once looked like loss is now looking like legacy. You were not cursed. You were being carved. You weren't being denied. You were being developed. And the fruit of that development is about to overwhelm your reality. This is a season of holy reimbursement, not just repaying what was taken, but returning it in ways that validate the strength it took for you to keep going. The places where you were stripped will now be the places where you are stacked. The areas where you were overlooked will now overflow. Because that version of you who gave when you had little, that version activated a financial frequency in the spirit that cannot be denied. The return has been scheduled, and it's arriving right on time. The universe knows your name, and wealth is being dispatched with instructions to find you. You're not crazy for believing that money is coming back to you multiplied. You're prophetic. You're aligned. You're finally in the vibration where your pain is no longer blocking your blessing. It's powering it. Your empty days were never about being punished. They were a spiritual positioning. The silence you sat in was sacred. The tension you lived in was the tightening of a slingshot. And now, you're about to be launched. You didn't just lose money. You were training to manage wealth. You didn't just go broke. You were being groomed to break cycles. And now, those cycles are ending, not in misery, but in miracles. Every rejection you faced, every bill you couldn't pay, every time you were skipped over or denied was a setup for something more extravagant than you knew how to pray for. You may not have had the connections. You may not have had the degree. You may not have had the resources. But you had the courage to keep moving. You had the tenacity to give again and again, even when it hurt. And now, divine compensation is tracking you down. Not because you're lucky, but because you're loyal. Loyal to your path. Loyal to your integrity. Loyal to your inner compass. And that loyalty is now turning into limitless provision. There is a spiritual law that governs this moment. What is sown in pain must be reaped in power. It is written into the blueprint of existence. You are not trying to make up for what was lost. You're stepping into what was always promised. Everything you've been through has matured you, sharpened you, purified your intention. And now, the abundance that's coming won't break you. It will build you. It won't overwhelm you. It will elevate you. You're not just receiving money. You're receiving restoration. You're not just cashing in. You're rising up. You're about to live in the kind of peace you used to daydream about. The kind of ease you thought was reserved for other people. Because you passed the test. You stayed true. You didn't sell your soul when things got tight. You didn't turn bitter when things turned dark. You stayed faithful. You stayed open. You stayed grounded. And that frequency is irresistible to the divine. It's impossible to ignore. The accounts that were once dry will now drip with divine deposits. The wallets that once echoed with emptiness will now echo with abundance. You're not behind. You're being accelerated. People are about to witness something they won't be able to explain. The way doors open for you. The way opportunities flow to you. The way solutions appear for you. You won't even have to knock. Doors will swing open because your spirit has knocked for years. The pain you went through has made you a magnet. A magnet for manifestation. A magnet for miracles. A magnet for divine overflow. This isn't just karma, it's kingdom. This isn't just timing, it's testimony. And your testimony is being rewritten in the language of wealth. Every single dollar that left your hand in grief is returning in greatness. That money had your energy. That energy spoke for you. It cried out on your behalf. And now, those cries have reached the divine courts. The ruling has been made. Your name has been cleared. Your record is marked with multiplied return. And it's not coming from just one source. It's coming from unexpected streams. Jobs you didn't apply for, clients you didn't seek out, refunds you forgot about, investments you planted years ago, random blessings that feel tailor-made for you, because they are. The old story of just enough is being retired. You're not here to scrape by, you're here to scale up. You're not here to repeat survival cycles, you're here to create systems of wealth. You're being called to build, to bless, and to blaze a trail others can walk on. Your pain made you ready. Your broken seasons taught you budgeting, compassion, faith. And now those very tools are about to manage millions. You're not being handed this wealth randomly. It's because you're prepared to steward it with a heart that remembers. You are stepping into the kind of money that heals trauma, that allows you to give without calculating, to bless without fearing what's left behind, to invest without hesitation. Because your return is not just money, it's mental freedom, it's emotional release. It's finally being able to breathe deeply without worrying about the next bill, the next emergency, the next what if. You're walking into divine stability, divine sustainability, divine surplus. And the beautiful part? You'll recognize the return. You'll feel the frequency. You'll remember those moments you gave from lack and smile, because now you're receiving in plenty, and it won't just be enough for you. You'll overflow to your family, your friends, your community. You'll be the one people come to for help, not because they're needy, but because they see you as blessed. You'll be the example, the evidence, the walking proof that pain doesn't just end in peace, it ends in prosperity. Get ready to wake up and feel different. Light, calm, expectant. Get ready for money to show up where you least expect it, for opportunities to arrive in whispers and wonders. Get ready for that strange peace in your chest when you check your account and it doesn't match your old fears, because you're being upgraded, rewritten, rewired for receiving. There is no more delay, no more financial punishment, no more shame tied to your story, just the fullness of what you deserve. And you, chosen one, deserve it all. Every multiplied dollar, every ounce of peace, every wave of joy. You're not just being paid back in currency, you're being paid back in clarity. The fog that surrounded your financial decisions, the guilt, the confusion, the inner chaos that came every time you had to choose between survival and sacrifice. It's lifting. You're about to think differently, act differently, and attract differently. Because what's coming to you isn't just money, it's wisdom. It's the ability to manage abundance without fear. It's the peace of knowing you're no longer living on edge. You're moving into a realm where your bank account becomes a reflection of the healing that has taken place within you. This is more than money returning. It's your power being reinstated. The pain you endured took more than your finances. It took confidence. It took your voice. It made you question your worth. But now, every dollar that returns is bringing those things back with it. Your voice will rise again. Your confidence will soar. Your presence will speak wealth before your words ever do. You will walk differently, not with arrogance, but with divine assurance. The kind of assurance that comes from knowing the universe has finally responded with fire to what you've cried in silence. There is a shift happening in your favor. You've been through enough to know what it feels like to live beneath your worth. But this time, the story is changing. The chapter of survival is closing. The new chapter isn't about barely making it. It's about magnetizing miracles. And you won't need to explain it to anyone. Your life will speak for itself. Your turnaround will be so dramatic, even those who once pitied you will be silenced in awe. Because you didn't get here by manipulation or deceit. You got here by staying true, even when it hurt. This return is heaven's response to your endurance, to the way you gave when no one gave back, to the way you smiled when everything was heavy, to the way you stayed faithful even when the answers didn't come. That currency, the kind born from inner fire, is priceless. And now it's bringing real wealth. Not the illusion of wealth. Not the kind that looks good but feels empty. Real wealth. The kind that brings security, impact, and legacy. The kind that feels like home to your spirit. And it's coming quickly. Let your old memories of lack be just that. Memories. You are not doomed to repeat the patterns of financial trauma. You are not tethered to the struggle you came from. You are not locked into a story of loss. That version of you has served its purpose. It birthed wisdom, strength, and sacred grit. But now, you are no longer called to live like a lesson. You are called to live as a lighthouse, to shine, to overflow, to walk in rooms and not shrink, to be a signal of abundance, not scarcity, to wear your worth boldly and let others see what resilience can manifest. The past tried to convince you that you were reckless, that you were cursed, that your generosity was a mistake. But the future has something different to say. It says, "Well done." It says, "Get ready." It says, "Everything you feared was forgotten is now being multiplied and returned." You will not need to explain your increase. Those who watched you break will now watch you build. Those who saw you bend will now see you rise. And your elevation will not be for show. It will be sacred. It will be real. It will be unstoppable.